Hello and welcome back to Zara Energy. We are going to be doing the November 2025 astrology, the horoscope, and what it means for you and your sign to check your sun, moon, and rising. This is a jam-packed month full of astrological transits. Okay, so be ready for it. We have Mars entering to Sagittarius, Mercury already in Sagittarius, going retrograde this month. So yes, we will be dealing with some retrograde issues. Saturn is going direct in Pisces towards the end of the month. We have Uranus in Gemini, retrograde, entering back into Taurus, where it will stay until April of next year. This will be for the last time in our lifetime. Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. So there's a lot of astrology in this month. There's a super full moon in Taurus. It is so deeply impactful and transformative. I'm excited. I'm happy. And I'm looking forward to it, to closing the door on the old and opening the door on the new. Now, if you want a Mercury Retrograde guidebook, I do have those available, the do's and don'ts, as well as Mercury Retrograde transits in each sign, what it means, how it impacts you, and what you can do during that time as well. Now, let's get into the signs. Hello and welcome, Aries. Let's get into November. Now, do remember to comment down below your placements because your chart is perfect for you. And this means how things influence you will be very different from everyone else. And don't forget to check your sun, moon, rising, like and subscribe. Now, this month we kick off with Mars entering into Sagittarius, November 4th. Time to take action on travel, adventure, pleasure, as well as exploring higher education, sharing your expertise. This is wisdom, spiritual journey. Do not get into conflicts over different beliefs. Mars is a planet of aggression, and sometimes this can happen, especially because we have the pre-shadow period retrograde already in Sagittarius. So you are asked to review your beliefs and what you believe to be true, especially with truth. If you're dealing with any legal matters, especially if you're an Aries rising, you're standing on business, right? You're not playing around, you're getting things done. That's what you're doing. You need to take a stance, assertive energy. That's what this is. November 5th, super full moon in Taurus. Whew. If you've been working on anything over the past 6 months, you reap the rewards, money in your bank account. If not, and you're going through some financial woes, this is a time to make changes with that full moon. Now, some of you can notice a financial matter comes to a close. Maybe some income comes to a close. It's time to redirect and rethink things. This will also influence your relationships because Libra rules your relationships and Libra's Venus rules. So this full moon is ruled by Venus. So you'll be looking at your relationships and asking yourself, hey, how do things flow nicely? And Venus will still be in Libra. However, November 6th, Venus moves into Scorpio. This is great for intimate matters, private affairs, sneaky links, hookups. So you can meet someone and just be so drawn to them that you get taken up by the intimacy and physical energy of it. Okay? This is Venus in Scorpio. It's private. It's not for everyone to know. At the same time, if you're single, you could also meet someone that has been admiring you, watching you, feeling you, right? Wanting to say something. Stay away from obsessive or possessive relationships. Boundaries are necessary. In an existing relationship, this is where Venus has intimate matters can grow. You discover something about your most intimate relationships. This is for physical intimacy as well. Great for physical intimacy. Very sensual energy. But Venus and Scorpio is also very healing for us, releasing our pain, our trauma. For your money, this is great. This is other people's money. So Venus and Scorpio here can really allow you to work on business partnerships, passive income, financial success, okay, through other people. Now, we're going to have November 8th, Uranus retrograde, leaving Gemini and entering back into Taurus. Things have been shaky for you, right? Since 2018, when it came to your money in your bank account, right? Instability, things were going up and down. That's Uranus. It brings chaos, it brings disruption, and it also brings liberation. So you are asked to liberate yourself financially. Finally, for the final time, Uranus enters retrograde into Taurus, where it will remain until April of 2026. and then it'll go back into Gemini. This is a completion point. You can really reap the rewards financially. Think of ways to liberate yourself financially. Things and ideas that you just had at the bottom of your heart but never brought to the surface. Now's the time to flow and go. It's the past. So even though there's a retrograde going on, remember it's past stuff. You can definitely pick up past old habits during retrograde. Retrogrades are not bad. It allows you to reflect and see what you've lost and let go of in the past that was truly worth something. So go for it. Okay, just remember, read fine print, check and double check, always necessary. On November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. Now, legal matters, there can be some confusion, misunderstandings, and also maybe some things revealed. Remember, this is truth for you, truth within situations. So some of you could get truth about a situation. Mercury retrograde loves to give the truth. In Sagittarius, yes, truth teller, storyteller wants to come out. This will also be a time for you to review legal matters, review if you're teaching anything, sharing information, your expertise, or even traveling, making sure you check and double check your travel plans. Okay, very necessary. You could get into conflicts, particularly about beliefs, what you believe, what I believe. Just stay away from that. Religious debates, stay away from that. Those are always tensions, but this is also where you can also have tensions just based on, oh, you believe this, I believe that. Right, on November 11th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer. You reevaluating your emotional well-being, your safety, your security, your home and family life, and what changes you want to make for your home to feel comfortable and livable for you. You could also meet some family members you haven't seen in a while. People from the past re-emerge, people you're emotionally connected to as well. You might even think a lot more about your mom, your mother, your nurturer, how you were loved, nurtured, your childhood home, childhood experiences, your lineage, your roots. This is where Jupiter is taking you down the deep road of healing. Okay. November 19th, Mercury retrogrades back into Scorpio. And the truth bombs hit Scorpio too, another truth-telling sign. Everything hidden comes to light. Mercury retrograde. Everything said behind closed doors comes to the surface. So you will definitely get truths this November, okay? Now you're asked to reevaluate your finances, shared resources, business partnerships, passive incomes, taxes, loans, debts, inheritances, all become under review here. This is where you can have a lot of conflicts now with your most intimate loved ones. Exes can return, people you've been intimate with, whether it's physical intimacy or vulnerability, or come back. Okay, now there's going to be a beautiful new moon that will happen on the 20th. And Mercury goes back into Scorpio, retrograde on the 19th. On the 20th, we have a new moon in Scorpio. I will put the dates down below about everything I've mentioned. New moon in Scorpio, great for you thinking of new ways when it comes to your business partnerships, loans, passive income. Now Mercury is retrograde, so it's something you've done previously or an idea you've thought previously that you're trying to reiterate, revive. This will also be a very truthful new moon for you. It's in Scorpio. It's highlighting intimate matters, healing. Great time for you to get an astrology reading, a psychic reading, a tarot reading. It's a good time to tap into your psyche, your spirituality, like, occult practices, which is tarot, astrology, anything for you to tap into your own empowerment, your spiritual energy. So spiritual topics can come to surface, spiritual ideas, new money, new ways to invest, but you've been thinking about previously and now you're bringing it to the surface. And you're the one who wants to take action. And also because you're ruled by Mars, this Mercury retrograde part in Scorpio from the 19th can influence you on a personal level, right? Your goals, you might feel confused about that. Old goals can come back. You can have a lot of retrograde issues around you because it's happening in Scorpio, which is ruled by Mars, and you're ruled by Mars. So that's where that energy flow comes through for you. And then on November 22nd, we have the Sun entering into Sagittarius. It's great for expansion, growth, higher education, travel, learning, your spiritual journey. November 28th, we have Saturn direct in Pisces, finally. Now, Saturn is completing its stay in Pisces. Saturn entered the Pisces in 2023, March. Then Saturn took a break, entered into Aries this year. Now, Saturn is going direct in Pisces. This is where you're finally going to close things you've been holding on for far too long, truths, hidden enemies coming to light. You have all this baggage that you're just completely done with. You're closing the door. This is your healing journey. This is your time of isolation, and you're really choosing you. So if you're feeling sensitive and emotional, this is very karmic. This is you walking away from situations you've held in your heart for a very long time. And you'll be complete with the cycle come next year, February, Valentine's Day. November 29th, Mercury goes direct in Scorpio. Communication can move again smoothly. Now, keep in mind, post-shadow period. We do have Venus entering into Sagittarius, November 30th. And this is great for your spiritual journey, higher education, money through publications, foreign business investments, teaching, sharing your expertise. This is where you find freedom and liberation and joy and happiness. Do comment down below and I will respond to you. Hello, Taurus. This is the month of November and it's exciting. Comment your placements down below. Remember, your birth chart is unique to you, so how this unfolds for you will be different from everyone else. So keep that in mind. But Taurus, Mars enters into Sagittarius November 4th. You're taking action on business matters, financial goals, shared resources, taxes, debts, loans, inheritances. This is what you are focused on. Mercury is in the pre-shadow period in Sagittarius. Money's OT will come through. Reevaluate your financial matters. This is what this is asking. If you met with any delays, this is just the retrograde, it will pull through. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, if you would like a Mercury Retrograde guidebook, I do have a link down below for that. We'll tell you about Mercury Retrograde in every single zodiac, the transit, and how it'll influence you. Now, November 5th, super full moon in your sign. This is where the moon is closest to the earth. This is where you're releasing, you are letting go. You're letting go of everything that no longer serves you. I will say, though, if you've been working on anything 6 months ago, you can reap the rewards. You will get the goal. You'll get the fulfillment of what you've been working on. But this is where you're ready to release. You're ready to let go. You're purging. You're feeling exhausted. Utilize this energy to seek what is of value to you. This could also be like you questioning your work life, your health, your routine as well. But stay productive by seeing what either you need to get rid of and how you can improve your life. Other than that, if you've been working very hard towards a goal over the past 6 months, you will reap the rewards for it. Okay, November 6th, we have Venus entering into Scorpio. This is great for one-on-one relationships, personally and professionally. This is where you could meet someone if you're single, existing relationships, there's romance, as well as business. You could get more clients, partnerships, contracts, deals, money wants to come to you. Okay, just remember to read the fine print. We are in the pre-shadow period of the retrograde. Now, on November 8th, Uranus leaves Gemini retrograde and enters back into Taurus, where it will remain until April of 2026. You're completing a major cycle. You've been on this ride of instability since 2018, and it could have felt like you've been hitting a brick wall over the past couple of months. Finally, you're going to reap the rewards over the next couple of months. You're going to see the success financially coming back into your life. You're going to rethink things about yourself and everything like that, but you're going to feel this final push of Uranus in Taurus. And when a planet leaves a sign, it gives you a reward for the work you've been doing. And if you've been liberating yourself, if you've been taking risks, if you're embracing the chaos, Taurus would be easy. If you've been trying to hold on, it will be hard. Uranus is the great liberator, the awakener, planet of chaos. And the more you roll the chaos, the easier things can be for you. Now, November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. This is reevaluation of financial matters, rethinking things, reevaluating business partnerships, as well as contracts, inheritances, taxes, loans, debts, Exes can come back as well. People you were intimately involved with can come back for you as well. November 11th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer. This is you rethinking your communication, your environment, and just reevaluating how you express yourself and what comes through. This is where you can find wisdom through rethinking things. Any issues with siblings now? This is where everything brings some harmony, or even relatives. And maybe something is revealed about a relative or a sibling. November 19th, Mercury retrograde enters into Scorpio. This is like exes, people from the past, relationships, and tensions within your relationships. Remember, though, to think and allow things to flow before you express yourself. Truths can be revealed. This is Scorpio energy about your one-on-one relationships. Now, November 20th, we have a new moon in Scorpio, offering you new partnerships personally and professionally, but you're asked to reevaluate them, especially with the retrograde now in Scorpio. And as well as keep in mind, keep this in the back of your mind, that if you had any ideas previously about partnerships that you want to get in, this is where you're really considering them with that new moon. November 22nd, Sun in Sagittarius. This is where you see opportunities with financial business partnerships, contracts, deals, investments, other people's money wants to flow to you. November 28th, we have Saturn going direct in Pisces, where it will remain until February of 2026, the 14th. It's completing a cycle. This is your wishes and dreams for the future. Finally, if you've been working hard for what you want for your future, your wishes, your collaborations, this is where you can reap the rewards for it. You can see the fruits of your labor. There's also you restricting out connections, friendships, social circles of people you choose to associate with via choice, whether it's your church group, your work group, you deciding, hey, where do I need the boundaries within my relationships? Really great for taking action, working hard to your future vision that you want for yourself. Now we have Mercury direct on the 29th in Scorpio. Finally, communications move through with a lot more ease and peace. And November 30th, Venus enters into Sagittarius. This is great for business partnerships, contracts, deals, negotiations, shared resources, spouses' money. Money wants to flow to you. So be open to receive comment your placements, and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Hello, Gemini. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you in the comments. Now, Gemini, we start off the month with Mars entering into Sagittarius. This is you taking action on your personal and professional relationships. Watch out for conflicts. Mars is the god of war in mythology. This is where aggressions and heated arguments can happen within relationships. Other than that, this is really great. Mars is also a planet of heat, and it's time to embrace some heat between the sheets in the bedroom. So it does give us that sexy time, which is very necessary. Now, remember, Mercury is already in the pre-shadow period in Sagittarius. So exes can pop up. People from the past can pop up. Tensions and miscommunication with relationships can happen. Mercury is your ruler, and your ruler is retrograde this month. So keep that in mind, right? Full moon, November 5th. And remember, the dates will all be down below in the comments. Okay, I will keep them there as well, and in the description. So November 5th, we have a super full moon in Taurus. Oh my goodness. This is you closing out major cycles, walking away, releasing. It's a super full moon. Emotions will be high. It's super, it's closer to the earth. And for you, it's about ending, releasing, retreating, letting go, isolation, time alone, great for your spiritual journey. So you will be walking away from relationships and unfulfilling situations in your life, which is very necessary. Then November 6th, we have Venus entering into Scorpio. This is you taking action on your work, health, and routine. You can get paid for services you offer or work that you do. November 9th, we are going to have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. Be aware of those exes and people from the past that want to resurface within your life. They want to pop back up. Okay, keep that in mind. Now, at the same time, on the 8th, 2025, we are going to have Uranus leaving Gemini, retrograde. And it'll retrograde back into Taurus, where it'll stay until April of 2026. Now, this is going to create for you a whole, this is your mental health. This is subconscious liberation, patterns, hidden enemies, endings, instability, all coming to a close, and you're closing out the cycle. So anything that hasn't been dealt with, that you want to end, you want to walk away from, it will be dealt with during this time. And you will be rewarded. This is Taurus. Your life will become sweeter and more blessed and more comfortable and more stable when you let go of the things that create the instability within your life. Okay? Then November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. So November 11th, we're going to have Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. This is reevaluation of your income, your money, the money you have in your bank account. If anyone owed you some money, it can come through. This is you doing some financial healing here, especially. November 19th, Mercury retrogrades back into Scorpio. This is you dealing with some challenges for sure. Challenges within your routine. Traveling to work, getting to work, traffic, dealing with like, I'm supposed to do this, but then I get hit with that. This is instability to the routine. There can be even challenges with co-workers. There's also open enemies. Yeah, this is where people want to fight with you at work, with co-workers, or in general, people within your environment. This is your routine. So the routine that you have naturally has people in the environment. So this can create a lot of that. There can also be secrets brought to the surface. Anything hidden, gossip, rumors come to light. And this is good for you. This sets you free. Then November 20th, we have a new moon in Scorpio. This is great for you when it comes to your work. This way, if you had any ideas about your work previously, you implemented your health, you implemented, especially previous ideas, even just taking better care of yourself, self-care. November 22nd, the sun enters into Sagittarius. The whole month is going to revolve around your personal and professional relationships in Sagittarius season. And then November 28th, we have Saturn going direct in Pisces. This is great. This is where you reap the rewards for Saturn. The hard work you've been putting on and doing and going through since the past 3 years, since 2023, you reap the rewards. And you'll reap the rewards February 14th of 2026. This is where you have to put in the effort and you'll be working very hard towards your career. You'll be limiting people. You're just focusing on the goal, where you want to go, your reputation, and you're stepping up into your power. Okay, then November 29th, we have Mercury going direct in Scorpio. November 30th, Venus entering into Sagittarius. This is great for your relationships personally and professionally. Money through professional relationships, clients, contracts, deals. And this is really great to meet someone. Remember, we're in that post-shadow period, okay, until the 15th of December. You could meet someone, or an existing relationship can have some sweetness, some harmony brought to the relationship. Now, there's a lot happening in November. So do comment your placements and I will respond to you. Cancer. This month, Jupiter goes retrograde in your signs. Let's talk about all the astrology. Do comment your placements down below. Your birth chart is unique to you and it tells a story, and I will respond to you in the comments. Now, November 4th. Oh, one more thing. All the dates will be in the comments and the description just to make it easy for you to find them, especially if I forget to mention them. November 4th, Mars enters into Sagittarius. You're working hard. You're taking action. This is all about your work, your routine, your responsibilities, services to others. You're just doing it all, right? Be careful of burnout. Mars here can also make accidents happen. Ill health can happen due to burnout. So pace yourself, Cancer. So you could get extremely exhausted, suffer from burnout. Accidents can happen. Mars is the energy of blood. So be careful. Okay, this is not to scare you. I'm just telling you the astrology so you can be better prepared. Don't do anything risky. Mars here can sometimes make us impulsive, move impulsively, walk faster, run faster. We're more quick with our speed. Now, Mercury's already in that pre-shadow period in Sagittarius. So yes, you see where I'm going with this? You'll also take more action towards health and reevaluation of your health. November 5th, full moon in Taurus. If you've been working on anything over the past 6 months, you reap the rewards for a vision, a dream that you had. You could find yourself celebrating something, a wish fulfilled. This is what it gives you. Okay, and that's beautiful. And also your home life. There can be some changes within your home life at this point in time. At the same time, changes within your home life or family. At the same time, you could also be making changes with the people that you connect to. Maybe you feel disconnected from them. They no longer feel soulful, soul rich. You know, this way you can have some changes within your friend circle or the people that you choose to associate with via choice. The various groups, the work group, the family group. This way you're making changes. There's also a great full moon for getting support from your community through financial matters. Okay, November 6th, Venus enters into Scorpio. And romance is in the air. You're feeling it, okay? You're feeling it. If you're single, you can meet someone new, an existing relationship. You're going out on dates. You're having fun, pleasure. It's great for art, creativity, and for entrepreneurs. Good energy. November 8th, we have Uranus retrograde in Gemini, entering back into Taurus retrograde, where it will remain until April of 2026. This is you closing out a cycle you started in 2018. So you would have dealt with a lot of changes within the people you connect with. Your social circles, your collaborators, your networks, your friends, your family group, your work group, the hobby group, the group you choose to do jogging with. Any group that you were a part with, it would have brought a lot of instability, a lot of change. Okay, this is Uranus. And you would have also connected to very unique and interesting people during this time that you never thought you could. But it was interesting. So you're completing that cycle and you're getting a break from Uranus and Gemini in behind you, which can be very unnerving. Okay. Then November 9th, we have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. Reevaluation of your health. You could even slow down, feeling under mental fog. Tensions can happen with co-workers and open enemies at this point in time. Yes, open enemies. This is where people who don't like you very much want to create some problems in your life. It can be a friend, a family, anyone. So boundaries are necessary, and you'll also meet old co-workers. Maybe you complete a work project. November 11th, Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. This is you reevaluating yourself, your goals, your ambitions, opportunities you thought you missed now can come through, especially past efforts. November 19th, Mercury retrogrades back into Scorpio. Exes, people you had, romantic encounters with, flings come back. Tensions can happen with within romance. They can also be, truths being revealed within romantic matters. If you have kids, tensions can arise with kids, miscommunication, misunderstandings, truths. Maybe kids have been keeping some secrets, now they come to light. This is also really great for you to visit your childhood home, creative endeavors that you thought you were done with. You can pick up now, even old hobbies. November 20th, new moon in Scorpio. It's great for romance, great for entrepreneurs, but it's off of past endeavors. So nothing new, the stuff that you previously have done. November 22nd, Sun enters into Sagittarius. Is great for vitality when it comes to your work and health and how you're feeling. November 28th, we are going to have Saturn direct in Pisces. This is really great. It's completing a cycle. This is great for legal matters, especially for my Cancer risings. It's really great for expansion, growth, sharing your expertise, completing travel, relocation, seeking ways to relocate, travel endeavors, expertise, higher education, completion, and reaping the rewards of that. Even publications. November 29th, Mercury finally goes direct and communication can move smoothly once again. Keep in mind post-shadow period until December 16th. Venus enters into Sagittarius November 30th, and this is really great for money through the work that you do or services that you offer. Do comment your placements, and I'll respond to you in the comments. Hello Leo, let's get into the astrology. Now comment your placements down below. Your birth chart is unique to you and I will respond to you in the comments. We kick off the month, November 4th, Mars in Sagittarius, and this is great for taking action when it comes to creativity, romance. If you have children, you're doing more things with them. Frustrations can happen. Mars is the god of war and passion, so there's passion, yes, but frustrations too with romance, kids, or creative hobbies, but you can really zone in. Remember, I think the conflicts are something you need to be aware of, because Mercury is in the pre-shadow period in Sagittarius. So exes, miscommunication, misunderstandings within relationships, and the added fuel with Mars can make it more intense. So try to remain peaceful. November 5th, super full moon in Taurus. You will reap the rewards in your career for the efforts you have put in previously. This is success Anything you've been working on, putting efforts, you reap the rewards, you get the recognition, you get the promotion, you get the job. This is your success for your career. If you haven't been doing anything, this is a moment in time where you have to see what changes you want to make to be successful within your career, what you need to release and let go of so you can feel like you're living your purpose. Okay, November 6th, we have Venus entering into Scorpio. This is really great for beautifying your home, making your home pleasant, spending money on your home. Okay, if you are in a family related business, money for family can come through, money through relatives can come into your life as well. All right. Now, November 9th, we have Mercury retrograde in Sagittarius. This is the retrograde actually. So here we go, full in. Miscommunication, misunderstanding. Exes can pop back in. This can create a lot of tensions within your relationships. So be aware of that, even with children or even about children, if you have kids. November 11th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer. This is you reevaluating the past, seeing what you had to let go of and seeing the blessing of the things that you had to let go of, especially. Now, November 19th, we're going to have Mercury retrograde enter into Scorpio. Miscommunication can happen within your home, your domestic living space, right? Misunderstandings. This can create a lot of tension. As well as, so even a roommate, doesn't have to be someone, a roommate, a husband, a spouse, a child, as well as miscommunication, misunderstandings around your living space, rentals, leases, so forth, contracts, deals, buying, selling of homes, delays as well. And people from the past that are family can resurface, as well as anyone you were emotionally connected to. This is your heart. This is emotional healing, this retrograde. It wants to heal your heart. Truth can be revealed within your most closest relationships, especially people you live with. Now, November 20th, there's a new moon in Scorpio. This is bringing newness to your home and family, especially on old ideas you've thought of previously that you wanted to implement within your home and family, like moving home. Maybe you wanted to do it previously. Now the retrograde is putting the pressure that you're thinking like, there's something I really need to do. Okay, now November 22nd, we have the sun entering into Sagittarius. This is all about fun, pleasure, creativity, and it's really festive for you. It's great for entrepreneurs. It's great for romance and pleasure. Just keep in mind of the retrograde. November 28th, Saturn goes direct in Pisces. This is you seriously looking at your money, your income, your business, investments, passive income, shared resources, spouses, money, inheritances, taxes, loans. This is where you're looking at seriously and taking action. Remember, the more disciplined and hardworking you are, Saturn will reward you when it leaves Pisces. Okay, it will reward you February 14th. Now, November 29th, we have Mercury going direct. And November 30th, we have Venus entering into Sagittarius. So great for romance, for pleasure, for joy and happiness. It's really great for that. So really utilize this energy. Now, remember the post-shadow period will only end December 15th. So, yes, November is that month where we are closing out all cycles, reevaluating things. But it's for us to really find our truth and stand in our power so we can move forward and be successful in all endeavors in life. Hello, Virgo. Now let's get into November. November is packed with astrology. Now this will influence you uniquely depending on your birth charts. Comment your placements down below and I will respond to you. We kick off the month with Mars entering into Sagittarius. Okay? With Mars being driven and action-packed. But for you, it has a lot to do with home and family. And I need you to be aware of this. So it's great for renovating, moving, deciding to move, setting healthy boundaries with family members, taking action in terms of things you need to do for family, right? The complicated part is it can bring frustration, aggravation, tension. Mars is a planet that does this. It's in mythology, it's known as the god of war. It helps us get things done and feel motivated, but at the same time, you would be feeling exhausted because it's happening in the area of home, emotions, family, and you might even feel like you're going to spend more time at home. Mercury's already in the pre-shadow period in Sagittarius, so keep that in mind. So you could stumble into conflicts. November 5th, we have a full moon in Taurus, so you could have just come back from traveling, completed something that you've been studying, or completed a spiritual journey. And this is also, if you've been stuck in a rut, this full moon is here to awaken you, to break out of that, to change and your beliefs about yourself and the world around you. That is what this full moon wants to do. It's great though if you've been working on any foreign business investments, you could reap the rewards for that, right? With this full moon, money through foreign affairs, definitely. November 6th, we have Venus entering into Scorpio. Oh, and this is your communication. This is where you're sensing where people are hiding things, right? Venus is sweetness, but it's still Scorpio. So wherever there's, you'll be seeking the truth. Truth can be revealed through communication, especially siblings, relatives, or anyone you're communicating with, including neighbors. I would say use Venus in Scorpio for launching a product or deal, especially something you've been working on. Remember, Mercury's in that pre-shadow period. Fine print details, delays can happen, but you don't need to get frustrated by that. Okay, Mercury is your ruler. So you are influenced by Mercury Retrograde. Okay, especially if you're Virgo rising. That's the ruler of your natal chart, or Gemini rising. Now, November 8th, we're going to have Uranus leave Gemini and will move back into Taurus. You have been on a journey for the past couple of months with Uranus and Gemini changing your career, right? This is your career, your goals, and your reputation. So you've been through a lot of shakeups there. Your reputation is how the world perceives you. So if you're single, right, this is how the world perceives you. If you're married, if you're going through a divorce, if you are taking on responsibilities or letting go of responsibilities, this is how the world sees you. It's your reputation. This can even be, unexpected surprises. Legacy too, this involves. So maybe becoming a grandparent. It's unexpected energy with Uranus. And it's not just about your career, although there could have been some shakeups in your career. It is also your reputation. And how do people know us? Mother, sibling, husband, wife, friend. That is your reputation. And it's where you choose to change your reputation and what you are responsible for and leadership roles. Uranus back into Taurus until April. This is about liberation, freedom. So you're completing this. Uranus has been shaking up your travel, right? Making you want to travel, making you want to move. Think of how you've been moving since 2018, right? Where you've been living, what you've been doing with your life. Uranus is here to set you free and maybe even completing something you've been studying and your spiritual journey. November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. People from the past, including family, can re-emerge, or anyone you've been emotionally connected to or shared a living space to. Miscommunication can happen with family members. Healthy boundaries, think things through. Now, November 11th, we have Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. Rethinking your social circles, dynamics, and the people you surround yourself with. This is also great for inward emotional healing when it comes to your social dynamics, right? November 19th, Mercury retrograde enters into Scorpio. And this is where the truth bombs are revealed. This is like, oh my goodness, I didn't know this. Delays in communication, contracts, right? Sales, if you're in sales. Delays in getting information, messages. Remember, the delays will come to an end. November 20th, we have a new moon in Scorpio. Now, it's a great new moon for new beginnings, but remember, Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio, so it's going to be plans you've already thought of, ideas that you've had, communications and conversations you want to have. This is where you're expressing yourself. There's something you feel you need to get off your chest, or an insight that gives you clarity. November 22nd, there's going to be the sun moving into Sagittarius. It's all about home and family, and you deciding what you want within your home and family. A lot of you considering your living space, moving, what do you want to do, renovations, where do you want to live? Do you want to declutter your space, right? Get rid of some things. November 28th, Saturn goes direct in Pisces. And this is a reality check now when it comes to your one-on-one relationships, personally and professionally, and stipulating those boundaries. And only relationships that have what it takes can go the distance. Saturn is here restricting out what is frivolous. Okay. It's also great for, walking away from relationships. Saturn has been here since 2023, and it's been really showing you the truth about relationships, harsh realities, and having to walk away from relationships that don't deserve you. We're going to have Mercury go direct finally on the 29th in Scorpio. This gives you some clarity going forward. And November 30th, Venus enters into Sagittarius. It's great for spending money within the home, buying beautiful things, or spending money on family members, right? That is what you're doing. This is also great for spending money too on getting insights, information, coaching, counseling, astrology. You're spending money on the things that fulfill your heart. You can make money by through home-based businesses, right? Or through family or relatives might gift you as well. Thank you so much. Do comment your placements and I'll respond to you in the comments. Hello Libra, welcome to November. Do comment your placements as your birth chart is unique to you and I will respond to you in the comments. Now November is full of action. Okay, Mercury goes retrograde, but for you this month is focused on finances and communication. Right, we start off the month on March 4th when Mars enters into Sagittarius. And this is you being very productive with ideas, communication, and just expressive. So you are really fueled by this energy. I like the fact that you're an air sign and this is a fire sign. So it gives harmony to the aspect of you completely just taking action on your ideas, taking action on the conversations you want to have. This is really great for product launches or networking or putting something out there. You're passionate. However, I will warn against, because Mars is a planet, it motivates, it inspires, it's passionate. It is also known in mythology as a god of war. We can hit frustration and aggravation. So conflicts can happen with neighbors, siblings, relatives, or anyone you're communicating with, because this is your communication. Your mind can feel pretty heavy. Okay. So be aware of that. So do things to relax your mind. Also, Mercury's already in the pre-shadow period, so you can have miscommunications already. So be on the lookout. November 5th, super full moon in Taurus. This is great for anything you've been working on over the past 6 months in terms of business partnerships, finances, investments. You could even pay off debts. You could receive a loan that you've been trying to work on. This is really great for passive income that you've been working on the side. You can see yourself reaping the rewards. Now, Libra, keep in mind that if you have a spouse, they could also gain financially during this time. It's shared resources. So money coming through shared resources can grow, or other people. Something you invested that you want to share with other people can really be profitable. This can also be a time where you're going to be really looking at your finances and being like, these are the debts I need to pay. This is how I'm going to do it. Just recalibrating your finances. Intimate matters, secrets can be revealed here. You could also go through a breakup, right? This is where, truthfully, you are done with a relationship that's draining you. You will be very clear about relationships that are draining you. You're setting healthy boundaries. As your trauma, your fears, anxieties can be brought to the surface. It's a great full moon for healing. Then November 6th, we have Venus entering into Scorpio. This is your money. Money can come through connections, right? This can come through like a product you got, a skill that you have, putting out your resume. Money wants to flow through you, okay, and to you. So it's mind like, oh, I just want to come into your life, right? November 8th, we have Uranus leaving Gemini and going back into Taurus. For the next couple of months until April of 2026, you're going to be dealing with some shakeups with your finances. Now, Libra, you have been going through since 2018 with unexpected changes within your shared resources, your finances, the money that you have with other people, your bank, like not your bank account, but your debts, your loans. You've been going through it. You're completing the cycle and you will reap the reward, especially when Uranus leaves Taurus in April. So work very hard during this time on settling debts and focusing on shared resources and how you can grow financially. November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius, miscommunication, delays. Check your car, right? Traffic, make sure you got all your things checked out. If you're doing any short distance trips, make sure that you check your vehicle once again. Traveling, or you're putting on anything as well. November 11th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer. You're rethinking your career, your reputation, and how you put yourself out in the world. Anything you've been working on in terms of your career, you could reap the rewards. November 19th, Mercury retrograde into Scorpio. This is your money. Some delays and challenges with your finances, especially when it comes to verbal communications, contracts, and deals. November 20th, we have a new moon in Scorpio. Great for you thinking of new ideas when it comes to your income. However, it's going to be previous stuff that you've worked on because of the retrograde. So a new moon is bringing that new energy, but Mercury's retrograde in Scorpio. So rethinking it, and also old ideas, implement them. You will reap the reward 6 months from now in 2026. So if you had ideas, implement them, right? Start working on them. November 22nd, the sun enters into Sagittarius. And this is all about communication and negotiations. It's really good energy. November 28th, Saturn goes direct in Pisces, and you can have more structure when it comes to your work, health, and routine, especially if you're going through health issues or your health hasn't been ideal. This is where you can really see things improving with your health through, keeping a structure, like an exercise plan and so forth, as well as just becoming very disciplined with your work. November 29th, Mercury goes direct in Scorpio, finally. And November 30th, Venus enters into Sagittarius. You can gain money through communications, conversation, social media, content creation, writing, teaching. Really excellent energy. Thank you so much, Libra. Do comment down below. Let me know and I will respond to you. Scorpio, this is your November. Happy birthday to my Scorpio sons who are celebrating in November. Now, November is action-packed. Mercury goes retrograde. There are so many astrological transits happening in the month of November. It's unreal, and I probably will do them in more detail, transit by transit, on this channel. So do, subscribe so you're updated and comment your placements and I'll respond. November 4th, and if you see me looking to the side, I'm looking for the dates. The dates will be down below in the description. November 4th, we have Mars entering to Sagittarius, and you are taking action on your money. This is when you're moving, right? You can also fight about your money too. Mars is a planet of motivation and aggression. So it's where you are either feeling frustrated or you're setting some boundaries with your finances. Like you're like, that's it, this is how I'm spending. Now, I would really utilize this energy though for bold, brave energy towards financial gains, But Mercury is in that pre-shadow period in Sagittarius, so make sure you're thinking and rethinking things and not just diving in. November 5th, full moon, super full moon in Taurus opposite you. It's time to release, let go, and purge out relationships that no longer serve you. This is you choosing you, and only relationships that are completely solid and steady go to the next level. So you can celebrate something with a partner, an engagement, moving in, and you got that loyalty. If not, you're like, I don't know about you no more. And especially I don't know about you no more is more common because of how much of retrogrades and how many cycles we are completing in 2025. Then Venus enters into Scorpio November 6th in your sign. So you're magnetic, you're attractive. It's great for money. It is great for relationships and great for healing. So if you've been having some arguments with that full moon, the healing comes through. November 8th is when we have Uranus leave Gemini and enter back into Taurus retrograde. Unpredictable events within your relationships. Things unexpectedly happen. And this is Uranus. It can be good, it can be bad. But on a financial level too, this can also influence your partnerships financially, right? Because this is partnerships on a whole level. So even if you're a single Scorpio, you'll also be looking like, hey, is this friend a real friend? Is this place that I work worth it? You're going to ask yourself these questions. So with that retrograde, you're going to have some revelations about your relationships and decide, I think I really want to focus on relationships that are solid. And then you're going to get that, especially. So over the next couple of months until April, this is you really, seeing what you want in relationships, connecting to that personally and professionally. And you could reap the rewards, especially if you've been going through a hard time professionally with relationships and on a romantic level because you now want something steady. November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius, and this is your money, so some delays with financial matters. November 11th, we have Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, rethinking your perspective, your beliefs, as well as maybe traveling to places you previously had traveled before, right? And also thinking about ways you can expand and grow. Then Mercury retrograde enters into Scorpio, and you're rethinking yourself, your goals, and how you proceed and how you move forward, right? You're also going to be thinking about your work. Mars rules over work, and you're going to have some, miscommunication with co-workers, or even people who are open enemies. November 20th, new moon in Scorpio. This is your new beginning, a fresh start of how you present yourself to the world. But keep in mind the retrograde is happening. So you're rethinking things, reevaluating things and how you present yourself. And that's going to give birth to a whole new you and how you approach your goals. So it's a lot about fresh starts. But it's probably going to be a fresh start you've been already wanting for some time. November 22nd, Sun enters into Sagittarius. Opportunities are coming to you financially, and that's great. November 28th, we're going to have Saturn direct in Pisces. This is you now being very disciplined and having a reality check on your romantic connections, right? As well as creative projects, and also being more structured when it comes to children. November 29th, we have Mercury finally going direct in Scorpio, and you can move forward with plans, deals, and ideas. November 30th, Venus enters into Sagittarius, where it stays for the next couple of weeks, and this blesses your bank account through your skills, your talents, your ideas. Comment your placements down below, and I will respond to you. Sagittarius, happy birthday to my Sagittarius sons. Celebrating in the month of November. What a month. So much astrology is happening in this month. If you see me looking to the side, I'm looking for the dates because there's a lot. You'll find them down below in the description. Don't forget to comment your placements and I will respond to you because your birth chart is unique to you. November 4th, Mars enters into Sagittarius and you're taking names and kicking down doors. Yes, Mars is that passionate energy. So you're very motivated, very passionate. You want to do things, right? You want to go for your goals. This is where you're stipulating your boundaries. You're moving through life. It's very fast energy. You're thinking about all the things you want to do. You want to travel. You want to have fun. You want to have an adventure. You have goals that you want to accomplish. Now, Mercury is in the pre-shadow period in Sagittarius. So check and double check and make sure what you're doing is in accordance to what it really is. You know, don't just sign on that contract or get signed up to something impulsively. Mars makes you impulsive. Mercury retrograde asks you to question yourself. Okay, so remember that. November 5th, we're going to have a super full moon in Taurus. And this is influencing your work, health, and routine. Some of you will reap the rewards for work you've previously done in terms of your health or your work life. So if you've been working towards getting that job, that promotion, you'll reap the rewards. Or if you have services that you offer, this is where you get more clients. Okay. If not, some of you, that job can come to an end or you want to walk away to find something better suited. It feels like your co-workers are just not healthy for you, okay? Or the environment within your work is just not healthy for you, period. And you're seeking something that's good for your health. You'll also be making changes to your health on a mental, emotional, and physical level. And then Venus enters into Scorpio on the 6th of November and you are needing some time out. This is not the most prosperous time for you. If in terms of romance, it's more private, behind closed doors, maybe talking about things that need to be discussed for healing. Within a partnership, if you're single, you meeting someone can be more of an affair than anything else. It's not the time to, really date. Or if you meet someone, it would be like you were traveling, It's not something that is public. Okay. At the same time, I would say when it comes to money, passive income works best. And if things slow down during this time, it's not yet your moment. When Venus enters into Sag, you'll feel much more like you're attracting more money coming into your life. With Venus behind you, it's more like things seem a bit slow and you have to rethink things and you got to kind of manifest it. It's where you need to have faith for financial matters, right? And that will help you. November 8th, Uranus leaves Gemini and enters back into Taurus. And this is you now rethinking your work, health, and routine, unexpected changes. Now, if you've been going through challenges in terms of your work and your routine and what you want for yourself, over the next couple of months until April of 2026, you will reap the rewards when Uranus leaves Taurus. Uranus entered in Taurus in 2018. So we're completing a major cycle, and this is huge. Okay, and this influences your work, health, and routine. Rethinking things, and the work that you do, you will reap the rewards for. Now, November 8th, we spoke about that. November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius, finally. And there's where you can be met with the delays and confusion. This is you. So this is where it's directly hitting you. So it's like all aspects of you. It's you. and also your 7th house, which is your personal and professional relationships, right? Because it's ruled by Mercury, and Mercury is going retrograde. And Mercury is going retrograde in your sign, Sagittarius. It's also going to influence your home and family, because that's the other area of life that's ruled by Jupiter. And you rule by Jupiter, and Mercury is going retrograde in your sign. So between relationships, home and family, this is where the tensions can arise. You could see people a lot from past relationships, including people that you either lived with or family. Now, November 11th, we have Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, rethinking your financial investments, shared resources, debts, and loans. November 19th, we have Mercury entering into Scorpio, time for rest and rejuvenation. All conversations you thought you were done with want to be, let's talk about it again. Okay, and you're mentally exhausted. This is where things can really feel delayed and slow for you, but it's just a period. It's great for you meditating. You might even not feel like you want to talk to a lot of people. If you're feeling like some feelings of sadness, it's a great time to release. November 20th, new moon in Scorpio. You need time out. You're done. This is about endings, releasing, closure, letting go of things you've been carrying for far too long. And truths being revealed as well, especially with the Mercury retrograde in Scorpio and a new moon in Scorpio. November 22nd, the sun enters into your sign and you feel like a new person. You like a whole new person, right? This is your birthday. It's your time to shine. And then on November 28th, we're going to have Saturn going direct in Pisces. This is you thinking about the structures and what you want to create within your home and family, right? Really coming up with plans. It's also about responsibilities. You can feel a bit heavy too emotionally because Saturn doesn't do too well in this area of life. And then on the 29th, Mercury finally goes direct. So you can feel like things are progressing. You'll really feel your best December 11th when Mercury enters back into Sagittarius. So we'll be in the post-shadow period. December 15th, Mercury leaves the post-shadow period in Sagittarius. All the way until January, you'll be feeling a lot better. So don't let November get you down. Okay, Sag? November 30th, you're magnetic. Venus enters back now into Sagittarius and you feel great. It's like finally enters into Sagittarius. It's great for relationships, healing in relationships, especially after retrograde confusion and madness, as well as healing of you. It's great for money through your goals and you presenting yourself to the world. Capricorn. November is full of so much of astrology, okay? Planets retrograding, planets going direct, so much changes within the month of November. Now, your birth chart is unique to you, so comment your placements down below and I will respond to you. Let's get into this November, okay? And I will be making videos on these transits as well for you to understand them in a more in-depth way. Okay, so let's talk about how we kick off this month. On November 4th, Mars enters into Sagittarius and you're exhausted. You're needing rest, you're needing rejuvenation, you might be struggling to sleep, right? This is where you can feel restless when you are sleeping, or maybe there's something you're busy with and you can't get the rest. You're feeling like uneasy, tensions can arise, people can project their anger onto you, and you're just exhausted all around. Mercury is also in the pre-shadow period of the retrograde in Sagittarius, so this complicates matters even further in terms of old conversations coming back, you feeling frustrated. November 6th, Venus enters into Scorpio, and this is really great for socializing and connecting, as well as networking and collaborations. So you can connect to friends, you can be doing things within groups, whether it's a family group, a work group, you know, planning events, hobby groups, end of year functions. This is so much the energy of where you're very sociable and it makes you magnetic. You can gain money through collaborating, networking, or even pitching something to others. You will reap the rewards. Okay, November 8th, we have Uranus leave Gemini and enter back into Taurus, and this brings some unpredictable energy to your romantic life. Maybe some exes come back because Uranus is retrograde in Taurus now until April. Well, it'll go direct, but in April, it'll remain until the 26th of April, 2026. So you have this time now to reevaluate since 2018 your relationships, your connections romantically, creativity, children. Unpredictable events would have happened with children and within your romantic life. See, Uranus is chaos, and there would have been some chaos when it came to dating and romance. Okay, now, and also even concepts like children. November 11th, we have Jupiter. November 9th, Mercury finally goes retrograde in Sagittarius. You're so exhausted. Time out. You're needing the rest. November 11th, Jupiter goes retrograde in Cancer. And this is you now rethinking your relationships, right? Some blast from the past might re-enter into your life. Reevaluation of your connections and romance and personal and professional relationships. November 19th, we have Mercury retrograde back into Scorpio. And this now brings some tensions to your social dynamics and people from the past, friends you haven't seen in a long time wanting to reconnect with you. However, delays can come when it comes to your future wishes and visions for the future. November 20th, there's a new moon in Scorpio, and this is really good for you about thinking about what you want for your future, but it's going to be something related to past endeavors because Mercury is retrograded in Scorpio. And even if there's anything coming to light with your connections, you might decide you want to connect to new people. Right? Maybe you're done with certain connections due to the retrograde of Scorpio influencing your social connections and the people you choose to associate with via choice. November 22nd, we have the Sun now in Sagittarius, and you wiped. This is you wiped out and exhausted and done and needing some time to self. Very necessary, very important. Definitely give it to you before your season that's going to approach us very soon. November 28, Saturn goes direct in Pisces, and truths are revealed in these conversations you really need to have and set some boundaries with. It's also you making plans to change neighborhoods, to travel, to move your home. Things that you want to do that secures your environment as well is very necessary. And also learning something. Maybe there's something you're learning and now you are very focused on that. Even writing. November 28th. Is when this happens. November 29th, Mercury goes direct in Scorpio. Finally, your mind is clear and, communication can move forward. Then November 30th, Venus enters into Sagittarius. And this is bringing up old stories from the past. People from the past can come back, old love affairs as well. You're reflecting more, you're reminiscing more on past situations. You can have conversations within an existing relationship for healing. You're also needing some more time alone than usual, right? You might not be in your most sociable energy. If you're single and you meet someone now, it's going to be more likely an affair, something behind closed doors, private, something that not the whole world needs to know. That's what you are feeling. By an existing relationship, this offers healing. It offers a time for you, just spending time privately with your partner, opening up more than anything else. Comment your placements and I will respond to you down below. Aquarius, let's talk about November. Very interesting month. So much is happening, jam-packed with astrology. The dates will be down below in the description, as well as I'll be looking to the side for the dates and the transits. And keep in mind, your birth chart is unique to you. Comment your placements and I will respond to you. Now, on November 4th, we have Mars entering into Sagittarius. This is great for taking action towards your future wishes and dreams. It's all about what is your vision? Go for it. This is also great for having connection, collaborating online and in person, right? This is very steamy energy too. Okay, you could have that intimate moment with a friend. It's very passionate energy. Okay, and it's really great for you, taking action when it comes to your social circles, but be mindful. This is Mars. Mars is the planet of action, motivation, and aggression. So some frustration can happen through your social dynamics. The people you choose to associate with via choice, work group, family group, the hobby group, the running group. These are your people. You chose it and there can be tensions. Mercury is already in the pre-shadow period in Sagittarius. So miscommunications and some blasts from the past will re-enter into your life. This is very intense, right? So just be aware of that. Mercury will go retrograde on the 9th. Especially influencing your social connections and the people that you've known from the past, especially who you chose to socialize with. Now, on November 5th, we are going to have a super full moon in Taurus. This is a big emotional release for you, right? This is you that full moon Taurus is a super full moon and it's hitting your home, your family, your emotions. A lot of you are going to have some tensions with family, feeling emotionally heavy, feeling emotionally like you lack value, that you're not good enough. This is that moment in time that is making you feel super heavy, super filled with so much of energy that drains you. So relax. You could even be having conflicts, tensions with loved ones at this point in time. You could be deciding you want to move home. You want to declutter your home. You're making changes within the home. Some of you will even decide, hey, I need to move out. Okay, this is endings and releasing. Some of you would have maybe even completed something beautiful you've been working on over the past 6 months. Like maybe you're buying a home, or you finally got that lease agreement in that place you've always wanted to be in, especially if you've been working on it over the past 6 months, or you started that home-based business, or you start working from home. This is a completion point. If not, this is where you hit with that heaviness of that full moon. It's a super full moon, so emotions will be intense, and it's squaring you. So you are feeling it, right? Square off. Think of it. This is tensions and conflicts within and around you. November 6th, there's Venus entering into Scorpio. This is your career. This is your goals. This is what you want for yourself. So ask yourself this important question. How can I make money? Venus is money, and it's through your career, and you need to go for it. You need to put yourself out there. Money wants to flow to you through your career. When it comes to your relationships, you could meet someone at a work event, a networking event, out in public, if you're single. If you're in an existing relationship, this is where you and your partner are focusing a lot on goals and what you want for the long term. It's looking very seriously at relationships. And if the relationship isn't serious, you're questioning whether you should stick with it. Let me just tell you about that transit. It's always like, what are the goals for the future? If it's not that serious, I don't think I want to be in this no more. Now, November 8th, we have Uranus leaving Gemini and entering back into Taurus, where it will remain until April of 2026 and it's retrograde. This is unexpected changes within your home and family, but it's all within. You need to liberate yourself emotionally, and this is what it's asking you. And the more you do so, you will reap the rewards and find the stability you crave with Uranus leaving in 2026 for good. In our lifetime, we won't see this. So, and Uranus has been creating this chaos of upheaval within your emotions, your living space, domestic living space, living situations, and within family since 2018. So unexpected events within family, as well as moving, right? Unexpected emotional feelings too. Now, on November 9th, Mercury goes retrograde in Sagittarius. This is where those, altercations with friends can come up, social circles, family groups, work groups can come up, delays within communication, delays with the internet too. November 11th, Jupiter retrograde in Cancer. This is you rethinking your work life and your health. Keep that in mind. November 19th, Mercury retrograde enters Scorpio. This is you now completing something. When it came to your career, this is about completing, it's not about starting something new. There can be miscommunication, misunderstandings with employers, at work, your reputation, how people perceive you right now. So it's not just about work. How people perceive you might be feeling a bit off, as well as a reevaluation of how you represent yourself will be key. If you've been applying for jobs previously, this is where you complete, you get the job, or you complete something that you've been working towards when it comes to work life. Okay, and you'll be completing that within this time. Now, on the 20th, new moon in Scorpio. This new moon is a new beginning, but Mercury is retrograde and it's influencing your career. So something past that you have thought of. And then November 22nd, the sun enters into Sagittarius. It's very sociable energy. It's about connection. It's about connecting to people. November 28th is now Saturn going direct in Pisces, and you taking disciplined action towards your money and income. This is you really reaping the rewards until February of 2026, when Saturn leaves Pisces and won't come back for another 28 to 30 years. So this is also something we're completing, which we started way back in 2023. Now, on 29th, Mercury goes direct in Scorpio. You can finally move forward with your career. There's less tensions within your career, your work life, and your reputation, as well as Venus enters into Sagittarius November 30th, and this makes you so magnetic when it comes to your social circles, online and in person, your friends, your work groups, gifts, money spent amongst friends, within your social groups. There's also making money through collaborative efforts, networking online as well, putting yourself out there. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed November. Hello Pisces, welcome to November 2025. Now comment your placements, your birth chart's unique to you, and I'll respond to you in the comments based on the astrology. We kick off this month with Mars entering into Sagittarius, and you are ready to just move forward with your career, your goals, your reputation. If you're not working, this is just your sense of purpose. So if your purpose is to grow a beautiful herb garden, this is where you're very focused, right? This is where you're taking action. You're putting all those seeds, you're getting your potting equipment, you're doing everything you need to do, you're watering, you steady. Now, if you have a career, this is where you're taking action. This is where you're feeling motivated. This is also where you got boundaries up too. Mars is the planet of boundaries. When it comes to authority figures, you're very motivated for the future. Remember that Mercury's already in the pre-shadow period of Sagittarius. So you're already rethinking the direction you want to go with your career, what you want for your future, what are your responsibilities. Major rethinking and reassessment is going on, and even conversations now can feel pretty intense, especially with Mars there and the Mercury pre-shadow period. It's bringing intensity, right? There's very heated energy. Keep that in mind. November 5th, full moon, super full moon in Taurus. And this is you needing to get something off of your chest. There's something you need to say, something you need to basically bring to the surface, and you want to do so. If you've been working on anything, a contract, or moving to a new neighborhood or learning something, this is where you complete it. If not, you're deciding like, maybe I should learn something, maybe I should write a book. If you've been writing a book, you could complete at this point in time. But very much a super full moon where you feel like there's something you need to say. You need to verbalize something. You need to express yourself, especially about things you've been keeping private and within. And this is intimate matters. It can even be financial matters that you feel you need to have conversations around, Pisces. Okay. This also involves maybe your neighbors, your siblings. You know, something happens that you feel you need to stand your ground in some way. November 6th, we have Venus entering into Scorpio. This is great. Sweetness through foreign business investments, especially money, right? You could meet someone if you're single that's from like a foreign place. Maybe you met this person, they're not from where you live. You can meet someone now while traveling, while studying, higher education, libraries, places of history. If you are in an existing relationship, this is where you're expanding and growing and having like sweetness with your partner. This is where you and your partner are having an adventure, right? You're trying foreign cuisines, restaurants. You're feeling the vibes, okay? November 8th, we have Uranus leaving Gemini and entering back into Taurus. This is going to bring you unexpected events when it comes to vehicles, communication, siblings, and within your neighborhood and environment. You're completing a cycle you started way back in 2018. And this is you rethinking your neighborhood, your environment, where you're living, who you surround yourself with, the way you think, you communicate. This is you rethinking your communications with others as well. Truths can be revealed for you. November 11th, we have Jupiter retrograde in Cancer, rethinking your emotional well-being, your romantic endeavors as well, and has to do with children. Okay, so you're thinking about children, what you want with your kids, rethinking some things, you know, and as well as with your emotional well-being or creative hobbies. If you're an entrepreneur, you're also rethinking the direction with your entrepreneurship. November 19th, Mercury retrogrades into Scorpio, and this is where you might travel to a place you've previously been, or you might bump into an old teacher, right? Or someone you used to go to school with, especially college. This is where you're bumping into these types of people. You're also rethinking your belief system. You might pick up learning something that you previously put down, right? It's a very important time for you. November 20th, new moon in Scorpio. This is also again about your beliefs, your philosophy, your spiritual journey, taking trips and higher education. But because Mercury is retrograde, it's something you previously thought about or started previously already. November 22nd, Sun enters into Sagittarius. This is all about your career, your goals, your reputation. You're very focused. The Sun here gives you opportunities with your career, your reputation, and this is where you now are taking time to stand up and like do what you truly want. November 28th, Saturn goes direct in your sign. And previously you were rethinking your goals, ambitions, and things could have felt slow. Now this is where you're pushing forward, you know, when it comes to hard work and discipline towards what you want. Okay, November 29th, we have Mercury going direct in Scorpio. Finally, communications move forward with ease. And then by the 30th, Venus enters into Sagittarius, and you get money through your career, the work that you do, the hard work that you do, promotions, offers, leadership, as well as money through parents or money through your reputation. There's where people, you can get spoiled based on your efforts, especially like someone might make a big deal about it, like, oh, this is for you because you're such a great person. That's how it'll come through. But it's a beautiful time within romance. You can meet someone at a work event, networking, out in public, or if you're in an existing relationship, this is where you're planning for your goals for the future of what you truly want. Wishing you a beautiful and blessed November. Comment your placements and I will respond to you.